She's, you know.
You met her in a bar.
Actually, he used to go to a bar after work, or sometimes before. I don't know when the hell he was.
When he was supposed to be at
When he
work.
wasn't working, he was at the bar. But anyway, and I don't mean that in a bad way. Yes, I do.
Don't even be lying over
Anyway, he met. He used to go there, and she was there. She used to be there all the time. She was like a statuette.
A red-headed statue.
She lived with her brother
They were bookends.
and his wife.
Salt and pepper shakers.
She lived with her brother and his wife, all right? And they were, you know, like, they did not really get along there. It wasn't, you know, like a true love brother and sister.
That should have been a red flag. Right there.
So she would... And
Come
she
live with us.
She had been married, and her husband divorced her to go with his girlfriend. And what was happening is he would call her to come and take care of his girlfriend's children so he could take out his girlfriend. So this,
If she went, she was an idiot.
And the problem is?
So after a while, she didn't want to do that anymore. So she moved out of her apartment, and she moved in with her brother
She had a
and
problem
his
with
wife. You know? And then, you know, like, but it was boring. You know, she didn't have anybody. It was just them, and you know, like they were a couple, blah blah blah. So she used to go down to the bar. She met some people down there. She wasn't what you would call, at the time, I do not believe that she was what you would call an alcoholic. She would go to the bar, sit there with a drink in front of her for a while, and then have a drink it, and then, in the meantime, she met your father there, you know, and somehow or another, they became friends, and she was telling him the story of her life. So when I needed, when I was going, I don't know how come, but I needed a babysitter. All right? I don't know if it was when my mother moved up to Harriman or whatever. Something like that. I needed somebody. So he said, listen, there's this lady that I know from the bar, this woman that I know. She seems like a nice lady, nice person. She lives with her brother and sister. She wants to get out of there. She has no place to go, and she doesn't have any income. She doesn't really have any money. So I don't know what she was doing for a living. She was doing something at the time, but I don't know what she was doing. So he said, do you think we could use it as a babysitter, you know, for when you're working? So I said, well, we could try it out, you know, and he brought her over, and she seemed like a pretty decent sort of a soul. I mean, hard knocks, really, you know. She looked like a person that had some hard knocks in her life. The only thing is, she was not used to children.
She didn't like
and there was four, and
Christine
was really the head of the house when I wasn't around. In all honesty,
she wasn't mean, but she had no compassion for kids.
Right. No, she didn't, and she had no understanding of kids either. You know.
Do you remember her, Nick?
I do remember her. I remember throwing shoes at her.
Really?
Yeah, we had a shoe fight with her. Because she was, I don't remember her being the nicest person in the world.
No, she was not the nicest person in the world.
She was trying to get rid of your dog.
She was probably trying to get rid of my dog.
Yeah,
they were dogs that, you remember the little dog they just picked up from across the street one time?
Yeah.
I don't know if it was you or whoever it was, but it was a little dog.
And your little dog, too.
So I told her the story about the dog and how your father...
Wait a second. If he wasn't working or there in the bar and we're drinking, how did we pay this woman? Is this where my college fund went? Is my college fund went to this woman?
Her payment was room and board that she got there at the house.
Right.
That's what she got.
That's right. She lived with us too, right?
Yeah.
Oh my God, we always had a lot.
You had enough room? She lived with us she lived with us in the Bronx.
But she also came upstate with us too.
She came upstate, because then she started...
And Fran, the house upstate is 875 square feet. All right? Yep. So there's 4 kids, 2 parents,
oh my God.
and her. Plus we always had somebody else from my father's friend, one of his barroom buddies, who was down with a suitcase and a song would always
and what about those 2 boys that you raised? Oh, they
came up only during the summer.
Oh, excuse
so
me.
So we could sleep out. We were able to sleep outside in the tent too.
You built a sukkah.
We built a sukkah, and that's how I get to learn how to build sukkahs. Back in the Irish, they're called suckers. We were suckers.
Suck this. Oh
Wow, that's funny.
So anyway, Katie, and then Katie was there, and you know, everything was going along okay. And then there was a couple of times I came home, and the kids were very, very upset, you know. And I talked to her, and I told her, you know, you have to watch out. You have these are little kids. They don't know any better. You know, you have to live with this. And but that I'm just not used to it. And you know what killed me? Here's the thing that turned me against her. First of all, she had said how badly her husband had treated. No. First of all, she told me that she loved her husband and she misses him terribly. And, you know, like, this is the story that she came up to my house with. You know, like, he was such a good man. He was such a good man, and I loved him dearly. And you know, like, we had such a good marriage, and, you know, like, but we're separated now, whatever. And all right, so everybody separates, blah, blah, blah. And then I found out that, you know, like, first of all, he was cheating on her. He moved in with his girlfriend. He was calling her to watch the children while he went out with his girlfriend. He didn't give her any money. He didn't pay for anything for her, you know, and all of the above, you know, I mean.
Well, I can see why she's madly in love with him.
Yes, right.
Yeah.
So, you know, and you know, but, you know, like, she would moan, and I'd say, Katie, you know, like, oh, I'm just thinking of my husband. I loved him so much. I miss him so much, you know. He was a bastard, you know, like, don't hand me this bullshit story. Excuse my French. Don't hand me this bullshit story. Everybody has problems.
I like how you said, excuse my French, and then said bullshit again. I like how you did that.
Now it's Italian.
Excuse my Italian.
And that's the first thing that started. And then when I found out that Christine was cleaning up, you know, like cleaning up after you and cleaning up after the dog.
I find that hard to believe anybody.
When the dog dirtied on the floor, it was you that
She
was
didn't
taking
do any of that.
She didn't
stuff.
do
She would
any
look
of that.
at it.
No.
She would tell me to clean it up.
Yeah.
I can't do that. She'd say, I'm going to get sick. I can't do that. Valerie was
She had
really
nails
sick.
like claws,
Yeah,
too.
she had long. You think mine are long? She had long ones that curled.
Oh, I hate that. I know.
And they were on her feet too.
They're like claws.
Yeah,
And
So ghetto.
it was.
I mean,
But
on the
Valerie-
outside, she
Now,
was.
how long did she live with us? Well,
Valerie
I had to be
was-
like 4 or 5 years old, right, when she
Yeah.
came upstate. Or how long did she live with us, and where did she go? Did she go back down to the city?
What? No. What happened
killed
is she got a job. After Christine started taking care of the kids up
Right.
here, she got a job at the Red Apple Motel. Red
Ah,
Apple
there she
West.
goes.
Whoa!
She got a
was
job
making
down
a
there.
mess.
And she met a guy down there. She was doing very well. Then she met a guy down there who was a cook. They
Perfect.
got married. And she moved away. I haven't heard from her
Thank
since.
you, God. That's all I kept saying is thank you, God.
Didn't miss her at all. Didn't worry about her. She said she was getting. He asked her to marry him, and she said yes, and they got married. Now, are they still married? Are they living someplace else?
Check Facebook.
Facebook. I couldn't even tell you what his name was.
I
Even
know.
the Red Apple West is closed. I wouldn't know where to look for it, and I wouldn't
Chef
even want to.
Boyardee.
But I would come home from school, you know, before I would go to school, or when I came home from school, she'd say
I'm
to
gonna
me,
make a cup of. I'm gonna put some
your
tea
sister
on.
is sick, and
Does
I
anybody
cannot
want
take
tea?
care of her. She's
That's
no.
terrible.
cup of tea?
No, thanks, honey.
No, okay.
She's, you know what, she would, if Valerie would, I can remember Valerie throwing up, and she says to me, I'm not cleaning that.
She's
Make her
disgusting.
clean it up. She
So
said,
she was
go
just
inside and
being-
get a towel and clean that up. And I said,
Oh,
so she
God.
can't clean it up, she's sick.
Oh.
She said, well then you do it, because I'm not doing it.
Oh, God.
Ned threw a fire truck at her, she threw it back. I said to her,
Oh, great.
don't even throw anything at him, he's only a baby. Well, he shouldn't be throwing things at me. And, she and I went round and round, her and the kids. She was trying to get Denise out to school. Denise went to kindergarten, and she would send Denise into the bathroom to get washed, and Denise would be in there playing in the toilet for 30 minutes.
Oh.
Oh God.